Taylor Dent, great to see you back on the court here in Brisbane this week at the start of the 2009 ATP World Tour season. You missed almost a couple of years, 2 full years before coming back to play a few tournaments last year. Was there ever a time when you doubted that you would get back?
Oh, sure. When I had my back surgery, I didn't feel, I definitely didn't have the back surgery to play tennis again. At the time, I was doing it just to kind of lead a somewhat normal life. I'd walk around the house and hang up a painting or something like that, and I'd have to go lay down in bed for 2 hours. So, after 9 months of that, I'm like, this is ridiculous. You know what happens when I have kids and I want to be able to play with them? There's no way I'm going to be able to do it. So I actually had the back surgery to just, get a little bit of relief. And, I went in there and the doctor said the same thing. He said, don't do this for tennis. You can't guarantee that you're going to be able to play again at all. And so at that stage, it was just so far gone that I didn't really have any options. So after the surgery, the doctor, told me, he said, it went pretty well, everything looks good. This is after the second surgery. The first one didn't go so well. After the second one, he says, it looks pretty good. You should just go out and hit some balls and play a tournament and see what happens.
Have you had to change the way you're playing the game?
Not because of the surgery, actually. Not because of the surgery at all. I just had so much time to think, and if I had another chance, what would I do differently? And the biggest thing that I changed is just serving and volleying in the second serve. I would do that exclusively before, and I don't think it's realistic these days. You have to hit second serves too good. And even then, the guys are going to make you play too many tough volleys. And guys are too fast, the courts are too slow, and everybody passes too well for you to be playing tough volley after tough volley and hope to have a good hold percentage.
Do you attribute any of your injury trouble to the fact that you're a big, strong guy? You look at tennis, and other than maybe Philippoussis and Tsonga, who both had their own injury issues, tennis doesn't seem to be a friendly sport for big guys.
Absolutely. No, it's 100% true. Whether I can say that's the root of my injuries or not, you never know. I'm putting a lot of stress on my body, the style of tennis that I play. But tennis is a lanky person's sport. You see a lot of the guys out there, and they're pretty lanky. Me and Philippoussis and Tsonga, I'm sure we're some of the only guys that are just over 6 feet, 6'2", and we're over 200 pounds. So it's tough, but it can be done.
Last year you played, I think, just 2 ATP tournaments and 3 challenges. How did you feel physically after those events?
Pretty bad. Those were low times, most of them. After, I would do a ton of training to get ready for it, and the match is just different. Go out there and play a good first set, normally maybe a good second set, but then I'd just be totally tired, totally wiped out. And that's just from playing, not playing for 2 years and spending just almost a year in bed after recovering from 2 surgeries back to back. So it was disappointing at times, but I knew that was part of the process. If I wanted to play professional tennis again, it's part of the deal. Got to go through those tough times.
How did you pass all that time when you were just laid up in bed? You must have been bored.
Honestly, it is so lucky that this game came out a while ago, and I was kind of playing it casually. It's called World of Warcraft. It's a computer game that you play online, and people around the world play. And a few of my friends were playing, and they kind of talked me into playing. I tried it out, and I was messing around with it a little bit while I was on tour. So then, as soon as I had those surgeries and I couldn't move from bed, you can only see so many movies. So I ended up just playing this game for like 8 hours a day, and it was a good time.
What about 2009? Obviously great to be able to start the year in the first week of the season. What are your goals for the year ahead?
As far as results, I never set any goals results oriented, because I think that that's kind of putting the carriage in front of the horse. You know what I'm saying? You got to do certain things to make sure that your results get there. And so goals for me is a high holding serve percentage. I believe, looking on the stats of the ATP, that's a huge deal. When the best players in the world are holding 85–90% of the time, that's where I need to be if I want to, be, competing for these tournaments. And also, second serve points won is another big one. Normally, the number one player at the end of the year is winning about 60% second serve points, and that's the goal. So we'll have to wait and see what happens.
You mentioned that you'll stay back more on second serves, but do you still think there's any place in the game for serve bowling on first serves?
No doubt about it. No, I think if you have an effective first serve, I almost think you're doing yourself a disservice by not serving and bowling, because you take the block lob return out of play. And if some players do that, then that just totally equalizes a great first serve. So I think serving and bowling off the first serve, if you can take advantage of it, is the right play in my view.
How would you assess the way you're hitting the ball at the moment?
It's good. I mean, I'd say it's probably like a 5 or a 6 out of 10. I mean, it's okay. It's not where it needs to be by any means. But some days I'm out there and I'm playing really solid, playing some sharp tennis. But the consistency is just a little bit of an issue. But that's just going to be time on court.
You won 3 titles in 2003 in a great season, but you haven't won since. Does that weigh on your mind at all?
No, again, that goes into the goals type things. I mean, if I'm doing the things that I need to do, those titles will come and great results will come. So in the past, again, those things have haunted me. The holding percentage and second serve points won has just been a very inconsistent stat for me. So if I get those taken care of, then I'm not worried. Titles will definitely come.
And specifically in this off-season, can you tell us what you've done to prepare for the season?
A ton of sets. I mean, I haven't really had the luxury of time on my side. I've had to try and catch up on so many different bases before the season starts. So I felt like the best way to do that was just to play a ton of points and a ton of sets. So when I was back in Florida over this last month, I was playing just four sets, and sometimes 5 sets every other day, just kind of trying to simulate the Grand Slam. So my thinking on that was just getting the endurance out there for match play, being able to last 4 and 5 sets and feel like it's a very doable thing, and also the repetitiveness of just playing that many points. Work on my skill and get back into the groove of playing a little bit more.
Who were you practicing with and where?
There was a ton of guys. It's IMG down in Voluntaries. A ton of guys down there. Kane Nishikori was down there. Xavier Melise. Haas got there a little bit late. Stepanek was there. I mean, there's probably about 20 guys down there.
There must be some fun stories that you may or may not be able to share with us.
Well,
Tell us
honestly,
one or two.
I don't know about those guys, but I'm so tired at the end of the day, I go home and I cry a little bit and I go to sleep.